Hey there, Heather Boyd Wire here.
Today I'm making yin yang earrings with round wire inspired by my flat wire yin yangs. I'll link up that video below. You are going to need some round pliers, flat pliers, and cutters. I'm using the Artistic Wire 20 gauge. I have earring hooks and my beads, and you're going to need some round forms. So I'm starting with about 10 inches of the 20 gauge artistic wire. I have a 1-inch diameter pill bottle, and I am going to wind the wire around the bottle just to make a complete circle. Give it a little push with your thumbs. Make sure you have about 1.5 inches at the end there, and then I'm using the end of a Crayola marker to get the round form. I'm holding it with my thumb and just winding it around. And then I'm going to put it over a little bit and then make an S formation using that marker. So that's our basic shape, and we want to hold it in place, and we're going to measure it to make sure it's the right size so we can get 2 earrings that are the same size. Now we're going to hold these with the Xuron tweezer nose pliers. They're really good for small spaces. I'm going to hold it also with my finger and then wind that wire around just to secure it in place. Give it a good little tug so it's nice and secure, and then we're going to adjust the bottom one and hold it in place as well. So you're going to make sure there's even space on either side of that S, and we're going to hold it again and wind that wire through, giving it a good little tug so it's nice and tight. So we can go around once or we can go around twice. It's going to be more secure if you go around twice so it won't slide on the frame. And then we can just do the same on the bottom. We're going to go around another time. And see, I'm wiggling it back and forth to tighten it up. And now at the top, we're going to bend it at an angle and then use the round pliers to make a little loop at the top so we can hang the earrings. So we've made a little loop that's centered at the top, and now we're going to hold them with the flat nose tweezer nose pliers and wind the wire around twice. So we're just going to bring it around, and now it's at one side, and we're going to do the same here. So you see they're bent at a right angle, just like that. So what we need to do now is push the wire straight down. I'm going to add a 6mm black bead, a round bead, and we're going to hold that in place and wind the wire around because we want to secure that in place. You can help it with the pliers so it doesn't slide. You really want that to be nicely centered. So I'm just adjusting it so it will be centered, and then you can just really hold it in place. And I'm going to curve it around because you really want to hug that bead. You're just going to curve it right around. I could have trimmed the wire so it's easier to bring around. You could do that first if you want, but you do need enough of an end to hold on to. So you see I've curved it right around the bead, and now I'm going to clip it flush. These are the Xuron flush cutters, and we're going to pinch it in place. So that one's nicely secured. And now we're going to do the same on the bottom. We're going to bend it straight up. And I'm going to put on a pearl bead, 6mm. And we want to do the same thing where we're going to hug that bead with the wire. So keep adjusting it so it's nicely centered. And then if you need to help it out with the pliers, and these are my round pliers, because we really want it to be right in the middle there. And then we're going to hug it with the wire, and you can get your tweezer nose pliers just to bring it right through. Just hold it securely and bring that wire right around so it's nice and firmly in place. And then we'll get our flush cutters and clip that end and pinch it with the flat pliers. So they're in position. You can do any little adjusting you need. You can pinch the wire in place a little bit so it won't slide. You can do the same at the top. Just go in with those tweezer nose pliers and adjust it as you need. Now I'm using surgical steel earring hooks. These are the ones that I purchased. You can also make your own earring hooks if you want with the same wire. And then there we have our pair of earrings. So for the smaller one, I'm just using a highlighter to get the frame, same 20 gauge wire. This is the artistic wire. I like this wire because it's got a nice color, it's easy to work with, and it doesn't tarnish. So we're going to curve it around with the end of a Sharpie to get the S formation. Just bring it around. It's much easier to do with the end of a Sharpie. I tried this with my looping pliers, but it's kind of hard to access. So now we have the S formation, and as before, we're going to hold it in place with the tweezer nose pliers. And if you leave that bottom end open, you can just slide it underneath. So it's much easier to get through. Again, just slide it underneath that wire and bring it straight up. Give it a little pinch so it doesn't slide. So there's our beginning step, and then flip it around and measure it. Make sure there's even space on both sides. Hold it with the tweezer nose pliers and your finger, and then bring the wire through as we did in the first one. So if you want to just go around one time, you can do that. Otherwise, you can go around 2 times. So now we want to form the loop at the top. Again, we bend it at an angle, curve it around, center it. So that's our loop, and then we need to hold the loop with the flat pliers and bring the wire around. You could just go around once is fine, especially with the smaller one, or you could go around twice, whatever you prefer. Give it a good little tug, pinch it in, and then push the wire straight down. So now we're going to put a 4mm black bead. These are glass beads. So we're going to, as before, we want to make sure it's going to be in the center. So I'm just going to start that bend with my round pliers at the bottom. So there you see, it's just going to sit right on that bend. And if it's not in the right position, you can unroll it and roll it again just to make sure it's right in the middle. You see my ends are a little shorter, so they're easy to turn around. We're just going to curve it around that bead. Just bring it right around so it's snug. Clip the end with our flush cutters and make sure it's pinched in so there's no little scratchy ends. And now we're going to do the same on the bottom. Bend the wire straight up, adjust it as you need, and put a 4mm pearl bead on there. And we're going to bend the wire where we want the top of the bead to be. You can hold that wire with the pliers and push the other wire around. Just bring it right around to hug that bead. I'm just going to curve it. You can curve it in, bring it through to the back to make sure it's curved right around that bead. Do any little adjusting and then clip it with the flush cutters right in there. And we'll get our tweezer nose pliers to pinch in that little pokey end and push it right against the bead. Same on the top, just pinch it right in so it really hugs that bead in place. and then we can do our little adjustments as we need. Pinch those ends in so it doesn't slide, and there are our smaller yin yang earrings.
So thanks so much for watching the video. Give it a big thumbs up if you liked it. Be sure to subscribe to my channel for lots more wire art and jewelry making videos. And if you'd like to share photos of your wire art and jewelry, be sure to join the Wire Makers Club on Facebook. And if you'd like to check out my work on Etsy, my husband and I specialize in custom wedding cake toppers and funky jewelry. I also have a mailing list, so if you'd like to sign up below, I'll send you my Wire Art Essentials ebook. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you the next time.